Greetings! I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I hope everyone had a wonderful start to their week. And all that jazz. And I hope everyone is ready
Oh yeah.
to talk about Skeleton Crew episode 7. I do like that there was like one episode that I didn't really like, and then one episode that I was just sort of like mid about. But then these last couple episodes, I've just been like, yeah, I'm totally back on board the Skeleton Crew hype train.
Again, they can't leave you on a bad taste in your mouth, so they, they have to put the effort into the last two episodes.
I mean, it's been the last three, the last couple episodes I've been in. The last episode is tomorrow, as of us talking right now.
Mm-hmm. The only episode that you was actually upset about was the middle one, the
Yeah.
actual direct middle one.
Yeah, you would think that that would have been like mid-season finale or mid-season thing would have been like, let's get this hype train going, but it was just very mid. I was not
Yeah, it
about
was a
it.
normal. I was gonna say a normal middle episode, not the formula for okay mid season finale. They didn't bother doing that with this.
It's so
They just said
nice.
it's a random middle episode.
It'd be so nice if my phone didn't think it knew better than me about what I'm trying to type in.
Good old autocorrect. The phone goes, "You mean this, right?" And you just look at the phone and go, "I hate you. I was almost finished typing.
Seriously, it's not even.
Why did
It's
you
not
not
even on.
let me?"
It's not even stuff like that. It's about the fact that I'm trying to do hashtags, and it keeps on screwing it up. Like, there's just no reason for it. Okay, I've shared that we are streaming. Anyway, as you can see, we're back with Monster Rancher 4. For various reasons. We do not have all the same monsters that we did before. So, meet our new monsters. This is Fido. This is Will's. And this is Rock Candy. This is mine. Oh yeah. Introduce these guys, and then we'll get started. So, yeah. This episode. Alright, so if you recall, the last episode was they managed to shed the okay, so first things first, the whole thing. Okay? Apparently
Yeah.
that wasn't the actual hull that they blasted off. Apparently
Okay.
what that was a disguise.
Okay.
All right, you find this out later, so I'll get to it then. But yeah, their ship is perfectly fine. And the other ship, the one with Jod on it, he
Uh-huh.
they went to the coordinates, so they get there first, obviously.
Yeah.
And remember that storm barrier that prevents anyone from going in or
Yeah.
out? Well,
Yeah.
there's that barrier. So Jod's about to be thrown out of the airlock, and because they're just like, this is not a thing, and he's like, it so is a thing. You just have to go through the storm. I promise you. It's on the other side of it. So they send a ship in there, and the ship gets destroyed by the defense system.
Of course.
So now Jod's about to be thrown out the airlock again.
Gotcha.
And then another ship appears. The one that the kids are flying.
All right. Of course.
So I am kind of like skimming over a few things because they're a lot better just when it's actually action and stuff, you know? But,
Okay.
because, you know, it's that whole thing of like, you know, I can tell you that there was a lot of action and stuff, but it's just like, at the end of the day, you know, what's it gonna really help with other than just saying that it happened, right?
Okay.
So yeah, they capture the kids' ship.
Okay.
And because the kids were like, they got there and they were trying to they had just started trying to think of how to get through the barrier when when the pirates lock onto them with a tractor beam and pull them in.
Of course.
So
Oh.
the kids do a thing to try and you know, trick the pirates into thinking that there's more going on, but Jod just like walks up and is just like, or rather the captain of the ship walks up, tries to go in there, and the kids manage to capture the captain with the little claw mechanism that's supposed to help load things. So he's just like completely defenseless inside this little thing, right? Jod walks up and freaking just shoots the captain.
Of course he does.
And then, you know, sends people on board and they capture the ship because it's just a few kids.
Yes.
The kids try a few times to escape.
Like they should. At least attempt it.
But nothing really comes of it.
Of course, because, you know, adults. More than one adult.
But then a message comes through because I forgot to mention at the beginning of this episode, we actually get to see the parents again. Oh, that was so freaking distorted. That was crazy. Nothing of what you just tried to say came through there. You need to adjust your phone a little bit.
I should to say, yeah.
Alright, let's try this again. So yeah, you get to see the parents at the beginning of this episode.
Okay.
And basically, let me need to adjust something here. Basically, the parents have been piecing together a device that's going to go through the barrier to send a message to the kids.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically, while they're there, Jod comes into the ship, of course, and is, you know, trying to figure out exactly how the ship goes through, and this is when you find out that the ship is actually one of Atten's Republic cruisers. So essentially the reason why the ship can go through the barrier without a passcode is because the ship is just always recognized as being okay to go in and out.
Yeah, the ship is pretty much grandfathered in, as it is okay for this to get in.
Because there's only certain ships that can go in and out, and that's just one of them. So yeah. So he finds that out, and then he is like, the kids, like, they listen to the whole parents thing, and that gives the kids a revitalized, you know, decision of trying to escape. And then you find out that according to the pirate's code, a pirate can only captain one ship. So even though Jod has captured that ship, he can't lay claim to that ship, according to 89. Or 39? According to the robot. So there's a little bit of a scuffle in which Jod tries to claim the ship and Fern tries to reclaim the ship. And then then when Jod claims the ship, Fern says, "Unclaimsy, I claim the ship for kids." And then there's just this moment where you see the robot just sort of just there, and Jod's just like, "That's not a thing." And then, you know how, like, in the Star Wars universe, robots and androids tend to start getting, like, personalities and stuff?
Yes, the older they are, the more personality they can have.
Well, the robot goes, "That's close enough!" and just pummels Jod. And it's just one of those hell yeah moments. Just takes takes all of the pirates that have them and just beats the crap out of them and tosses them out, and then gets in the chair and flies out the ship and starts heading for the planet with the kids.
Okay.
The pirate ship, you know, not knowing what's going on and not being able to get in touch with Jod, sends out fighters. But, you know, as stated before, the kids are on the ship that has full access. So these fighters are now chasing a ship that has full access while they have no access, and they get destroyed by the defense grid.
Of course.
And then the kids are going through, and then then Jod appears again.
Okay, did he just sneak on board the ship?
Yeah, he managed to get back on board the ship before they left. And so the robot is, you know, Fern orders the robot to go take him down, and, well, the robot starts going, and then, if you recall, there was a lightsaber at one point that Jod picked up.
He finally uses it the right way.
Yeah, and the robot gets his head chopped off. And it's a very sad moment because the robot has been such a wonderful character, and now he's just been decapitated.
All right then.
So, Jod, of course, through the threat of I have a lightsaber and you do not, is able.
Yeah, that is an easy.
Yeah.
Easy win condition.
It's definitely a pretty solid win condition right there. So
especially when you're sitting there going, you're dealing with children who are unarmed. Yeah, it should be an instant win.
So yeah, they land, and the parents are currently being like they're about to be reprimanded and stuff, and then the Republic vessel comes in, and apparently whenever a Republic transport comes in, everything stops in that place. Everything stops, and it's all, we now have to make sure that the Republic stuff is tended to. We will get back to normal stuff after that is done.
Okay.
So the androids on the planet all greet the ship. Jod manages to get them all to believe that he was sent by the Republic. He is a Republic ambassador, or whatever it's called.
Of course. Of course.
And for some reason, the androids do not try to figure out any credentials on that. They just take him at his word.
Yeah. Like I say, he's literally flying the credentials. He's literally flying a giant license.
Yeah, but you would think that there would at least be some protocol outside of that, because again, it's not like it's completely just out there to think that maybe the ship got taken.
Hey, I'm going with the whole fact this planet is completely cut off from normal communications with the outside world.
Yeah, but still,
the only way to get into the planet.
Even during the Old Republic era, there were pirates.
Yes.
So it's just like, how in the world are you not doing at least some checking? My golem does not listen at all. How do I switch?
I also going to say that you are talking about the robots in Star Wars. Yeah, they don't really do that much of a thorough check once you pass the initial you got clearance.
Yeah, but it's just like, you would think that there would at least be some sort of clearance code to make sure that this is the right person. But yeah, they don't question it at all.
No.
And so yeah, and then of course he says, I picked up these kids on the way, and the androids all recognize the kids, so they said that the parents will be notified.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, and then
literally according to the androids, yeah,
and they're taken to the deep bowels of the planet, or of the city, or whatever.
Yeah.
To see the actual mint, and it is just huge. And apparently,
of course,
there's multiple of these on this planet. And
of course
you see the first place, and it's like, this place, like, think the biggest, like, you know what? You wanna, I keep on saying Treasure Planet. Think Treasure Planet. Okay?
I was gonna say, you already described it as, literally Treasure Planet, Fort Knox. whatever you want to say, but yeah.
But yeah,
giant
so
repository.
think Treasure Planet when it comes to the thing, but everything is actually in proper Republic credits, right? And then he's told that there's like 7 more or something. I forget exactly the exact number, but yeah, he's told like 7 more.
Yeah, he's like, this is 1 of 7. Did you just say 7? Yeah, 1 of 7.
Yeah, Jod literally collapses and just lets a stack of credits just waterfall over him.
Yes.
Because this is literally the biggest score he has ever had. And
again, you will never see this much money again. Yeah.
So, and it is this episode that makes me think that maybe the whole thought that there might be some good in Jod. You know, because like I had that thought that he's going to do some sort of thing at the end that's gonna like, bring him back a little bit, and I'm not entirely certain of that anymore.
What was it? Literally the what was it? The 3rd or 4th time he held the kids hostage, or and
it's just like it's because
lightsaber point.
Like the whole fact that there were just so many times during the series that he has shown at least some concern for the kids. Because it's like he didn't have to go talk to Wim when Wim was having a hard time. There is no reason why he had to do that. He didn't have to like comfort Neil or whatever. Like there were just so many times where it just seemed like there was going to be like one of those moments where it's like the pirate captain that had betrayed him is going to like get there, and it's going to be him that really causes issues at the end, and then Jod's going to come back and he's still going to be scoundrel style and like get money at the end, but it was going to be like one of those things of just like I thought he was going to wind up at least showing a little bit of care for them, but now I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that's actually happening anymore, because for one, he killed the pirate captain that would have done that. He killed the rival pirate captain. And for 2, he's definitely going full evil mode now.
Yes.
Like his lightsaber might not be red yet, but the only reason for that is because the crystal is inside the actual casing, because like
I was like, at this point, what you described and what he could do, he could barely do anything. So,
I mean, like, he can do enough. You
can move keys.
No, he was able to hold someone in place. I think he held Fern in place at one point. So I mean, like, he has shown that he can do stuff. Come on,
but yeah, he hasn't used...
Oh, come on! I'm pressing the button. Oh, you suck, game! You suck. For one, I understand having a little bit of confusion every now and then because they're still kind of new. But like, freaking 7 or 8 times in a row, that's ridiculous.
Sometimes you just get that monster that sucks.
Yeah, that's both of our monsters. Happen. Both of our monsters suck. Mine sucks more than yours. Mine sucks more than yours.
I was satisfied when you told me mine did a good job once. I was like, well, look at you. It did a good job once.
And mine definitely sucks more than yours. But yours has caused a lot of issues, too. And I couldn't bring Gizmo with me this time. Because Gizmo was tired.
To go through.
No, he was tired. So I couldn't bring him. Or risk actually injuring him. Oh, this dog. You would think that, like, she has nothing to do outside there. Outside the room. The way that she acts. Like I'm freaking tormenting her by not letting her in the room. When she was doing something, and that's why I didn't bring her in the room with me. But yeah, so anyways, the parents get there.
I don't think that's lightsaber.
The parents get there, and they all have a reuniting with their children. It's not, you know, you don't really get to experience too much of this because shortly after they're reuniting, Jod comes up with the lightsaber. And that's where the episode ends.
Fair enough.
Essentially, this episode had a lot of action. So, like,
yeah,
I can't really, like, do a lot of, you know, it didn't really take quite as long to explain everything that happened, because it was all pretty straightforward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's close to a season finale, so yeah, lots of action, not too much talking or information. Straight to the point.
But yeah, it was a really good episode, though.
But yeah, I don't think that lightsaber's gonna go red until he actually uses the Force to kill someone. I think he will literally need to Force choke someone in order for that lightsaber to change colors.
Yeah, when it comes to the lightsabers changing colors, it kind of depends on who's writing the story, how it works.
Oh yeah, that's always been a thing, but I did like the little fact that when they did it in Acolyte, that's pretty much how that went.
But yeah, it was a really good episode. I was very satisfied with it.
Yeah, that character more than likely is gonna end up, if there's a season 2. That's when the character can maybe get a redemption, if there gets to be a season 2. Because we're at the end of season 1 now.
Yeah.
Unless they decide to make it a sad death, they could do that. There is the cliche sad death. The last thing he does is something decent before dying.
I will say that we still haven't seen...
And that'll be the closest to him getting redemption.
We'll say we still haven't seen the, who the supervisor is. And I still
You gotta wait till the last episode for that.
I still think the supervisor is going to wind up being Captain Renaud.
Probably, because again, why would you hide this ship somewhere instead of just keeping it where you would normally display it?
Well, like,
because apparently,
like, currently,
you know, whoever was in the ship.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Currently, they're going under the thought that Captain Renaud is dead. That is what they are currently going under the assumption. They're going under the assumption that Captain Renaud is dead.
Yep.
So that's why it's not really been like no one's questioned anything else, but it's like it really seems like, because if the ship made it there, right?
Yep.
Why would Captain Renaud not be there?
There's a bunch of things that you got to remember. The ship made it there. The ship was already disguised. So either A, ship was disguised on that planet, or B, disguised beforehand, but disguising it beforehand makes no sense.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that don't entirely make sense when it comes to, like, if pretty much any sort of thought process that leads you down any possible way where Captain Renaud is dead doesn't make sense. Like, it's just one of those things where it's just anything outside of Captain Renaud being alive somehow doesn't actually make sense when you look at all the facts right now.
The only thing that I can think of is, depending on, it is a very old ship, and it would have happened either quite a long time ago. So this person would at least have to be, oh God, in order for this to even be a possibility, he would at least have to be as old as Obi-Wan?
I mean, it's possible.
Yeah, he would have to be as old as Obi-Wan right now if he's alive. And that is literally when everything went to pot.
Now I'm gonna look that up right quick. I looked up Captain Renaud right quick. Okay. Okay, so according to the bio that is currently up, the assumption is he died 9 years after the Battle of Yavin.
Okay. I can see that. I can see that.
Let me see. When does this series take place?
See, my thought it took place sometime around, either at this point, the way you've been describing things, either around the Ahsoka season 1 or the Mandalorian series, maybe season 2 or 3. I haven't actually seen the series itself, but the way you described everything to me, I'm like, sounds about right.
I mean, it's still within like the changing times. All right, Skeleton Crew picks up 5 years. Skeleton Crew picks up 5 years after the events from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's the same time period. Yeah.
Okay, no. So yeah. Basically, if that's correct, then it's saying that Captain Renaud died sometime the year that they found the ship. That doesn't seem right. There's a possibility that the Wikipedia, or not the Wikipedia, but the Wiki may have just given me a spoiler.
You are looking up a character that hasn't been displayed yet.
Yeah, but I'm also fully caught up on stuff.
Also,
the finale
it
is
a
supposed
wiki,
to.
so
The finale is supposed to be tomorrow. So like. Alright, I am taking Gizmo into a rank B fight. But yeah, I definitely think that that Captain Renaud took the place of the Overseer. Because pretty much no one sees him. Except for the robots.
Yeah. It's a fair assumption. But my thing for the Overseer is either A, it's Captain Renaud, B, is a corpse sitting in a chair.
Yeah, that was another thought I had. That was definitely another thought I had.
And C is just a robot.
Yeah, that was also another thought I had. So, there's a few possibilities. But yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like it's pretty much a definite thing that Captain Renaud is alive.
Like I said, it is either making us think that Captain Renaud is alive, so that way we'll be surprised when we just see a corpse sitting in the chair.
You see Captain Renaud's corpse.
Or B.
We see Captain
There
Renaud's
is a thought that I did have.
What's that?
I just thought about the whole fact that this planet doesn't really get a new influx of people, does it?
No. But it's got a lot of people on it, so I mean, like, it does have a fair number of people on it, so I mean, it's like, we're not getting into possible, like, everyone's each other's cousin territory yet.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair. You did say it was it a space station or a planet?
It's a planet.
Planet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be fine. But I was sitting here thinking about how everything is set up on that planet, and I'm like, there's a lot of robots you talk about. And if an unknown person appeared, we already know how they would treat an unknown person appearing in that ship. By the way they treated, what's his name? So, that unknown person coming in, because was he even dressed like a senator or an ambassador?
Oh, God, no. Jod was still dressed like a pirate.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter to them then. Whoever come in that ship is going to be treated like an ambassador or a senator. And therefore, dude could have done whatever he wanted to and just would have been labeled an ambassador or a senator for the rest of his life.
Yeah. It's very true.
So, literally, he could be, running the government is a very high assumption. Because, literally, you would need a fleet of pirate ships in order to take all of this with him.
Yeah.
It's one of those things of, okay, here's one cachet of, all the money. There's 7 more on this planet. Okay. So what's your plan? What you mean? And then what? I could just see Captain Renard going, and then what? See the problem? I had the same idea. I got here, stuck now. Because guess what? What do I do with the money?
Yeah, it's more money
yeah, I
than
can't. If I just
anyone would know what to do with. Because it's the money for an entire galaxy worth of commerce. Like, we're not just talking about, like, Fort Knox. You know, because Fort Knox is supposed to, like, be able to fund America, right? We're talking about...
one country.
Like, we're talking about enough to fund, like, 100 planets.
Multiple worlds. Multiple worlds. An empire. Oh. Here's the other funny thing that I did kind of laugh at when I was thinking about it. Would the value of the credit go down a lot if a whole bunch of credits all of a sudden just flooded the market?
I mean, theoretically.
Like, literally, if I know if you print money, money will lose its value. So just like, what is this planet doing? At a certain point, should they have stopped making credits? Like,
I mean, it's really... There's really just a lot of questions here when it comes to just, like, specific stuff. So...
Like, when you analyze it, it just gets weird. You're just like, wait...
As you and I have said, when you analyze things, everything starts to fall apart in a lot of different franchises.
Oh, yes. Yeah, sometimes you just don't analyze, you just have fun, look at that ride. And then later on you go, okay, I'm bored now. Let me analyze this and go, oh God, this is so broken. There's so many flaws. Even with disbelief, you just sit there and go, why would you keep this much credits on one planet?
Like, quite literally,
just not flowing throughout the planet.
Like, it's basically just like, you know, think about, like, the mints that we have. It's like a certain amount is supposed to go into circulation every single year, you know? But for them, it's probably a little bit different. But, I mean, that's why money is printed here, and, you know, on top of that, money gets destroyed here every year, so that it goes out of circulation. But
now that makes me think of this. There's just an actual planet somewhere in the Star Wars universe that actually just burns credits. Literally, that's what they do.
Or the credits come back to this place. They get destroyed, and then
it's literally so they get still.
So, I'm looking through some Easter eggs from the first couple episodes. Some of them are not, like, super interesting. Like, they're not so much Easter eggs, like, you know, that would tell anything about the Star Wars universe exactly. Just kind of... Basically, they're more just, like, nods to just in general things. You know?
Gotcha.
Like, there's a nod to a character that Harrison Ford played in American Graffiti.
Okay.
And a nod to Smee from Captain Hook.
Nice.
You know, Port Borgo is like the first place that actually is like, this is a thing, you know?
Gotcha.
And there's a thing that was seen in Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I'm just like looking through this list, thinking that there might have been like a character that I missed, you know? Oh, wait.
Uh-huh.
I thought I kind of recognized that guy. They do have a person from Mandalorian.
Okay.
It's one of the Vane is his name. I kind of recognized him when I first saw him, but I couldn't place exactly where I recognized him from. But yeah, apparently he's from the Mandalorian.
Yeah, like I said, when you told me the time period, I was like, yeah, that made sense. That's around the Ahsoka and Mandalorian.
Let's see. Alright, I'm gonna look at episode 3, see if there's anything I missed there. Anytime that I find something that I miss, that it was really cool, I'm gonna say it out loud, of course. But yeah, right now is not really much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, apparently Hondo's ship was in it. Not Hondo, but Hondo's ship was in it.
The ship, not Hondo.
Not Hondo himself.
Ship. Okay. Well, that's something.
Everyone good? Everyone got scheduled stuff? Alright. Let's continue your training. Oh shoot, I did not check to see if they did a good job. Shoot. There's like a few things that are just like, this is a droid that exists. Now, yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it, but and I know in episode 3, it reminded me about it on this list. But in the third episode, there was they've been on that planet and don't know anything about the war and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, of course, Alderaan was destroyed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, one of the kids asked about Alderaan or about something with Alderaan when they were talking to the Owlkin. And she's just like, oh, my poor darling, you don't know.
Wow, that is one of those moments you sit there and go, how do you not know this? Like, you seem like you would be old enough, right?
Aha! There's a Treasure Planet reference that was there. There is actually a Treasure Planet reference.
Yeah, my vision of these kids is like they're all supposed to be at least 10, right?
Yeah, I think 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I know this would have happened when they released, but before they're, what this, let's see, Star Wars, the first, yeah, the original Star Wars, and the last one was only a span of what, 3 years?
I want to say 5? Let's say it was like a span of 5 years.
Okay.
I might be wrong, but I think it was
Yeah.
I think it was about 5 years.
All right,
I
so
am going. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I am going to take everyone adventuring today because everyone is pretty good on their health. So yeah, I think it's a good day to take them all adventuring. So I'm on
trying to find
episode
something specific.
5 on looking for Easter eggs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, apparently there was there was the pleasure yacht, like the one that Lando Calrissian was on, and and thing the
On the resort planet.
yeah, it wasn't, they aren't on the resort planet, but there was a, I mean, actually no, that is the resort planet, isn't it? Yeah, that's the resort planet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does anyone else need anything before we go adventuring? Oh, Gizmo is tired. Well, I'm not going adventuring without Gizmo again. That was a disaster. That was an absolute disaster last time.
I remember playing that game and having to have everybody rest the week before we go adventuring.
Uh-oh, Fido didn't do well. He got an F. I'm gonna
Uh,
scold Fido.
okay.
The number of aliases for Jod, I think like all of them is basically having a throwback to some sort of pirate movie, or some
That's
sort of
fair.
pirate thing.
Yeah.
And he has so many
Yeah. If
aliases.
writers could, they would do.
He has so many aliases.
It's much easier to come up with, with aliases when you just go, all right, gotta list these pirate movies and we gotta give them all these names.
Now, one of Jabba the Hutt's cousins was relaxing on the spa planet.
That makes sense. That makes sense. If you saw a Hut, you could just go, yeah, you're related to Java. It's fine.
They really did not go heavy with the Easter eggs for real.
Hey, they put in just enough Easter eggs to let you know what time period you probably in.
I mean,
Just enough to
it's
let you know these
like
people.
most of the Easter eggs are more just like you know non like not really exactly like, they're more Easter eggs that are like, oh, that's from that thing from Treasure Planet, or that's from Captain Hook reference and stuff like that, or that's a Jack Sparrow, or you know things like
Yeah,
that. rather than like Star Wars references. You know?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So yeah. Alright, I'm checking the most recent episode now. But yeah, thus far it's not really too much in terms of like Star Wars, you know, hey, there's that guy from that other Star Wars thing, you know?
Well, I can see that being a good and bad thing. Good thing is they weren't relying heavily on nostalgia for this, which is
Oh,
nice.
Stephen Fry is apparently the voice of the supervisor.
Okay.
Oh, and apparently my theory that Captain Renaud is the supervisor is apparently a very widely believed theory.
Yeah. Like I said, it's in my top 3. Makes sense.
Yeah, they
Because
definitely they're
again,
not
if a
relying
pirate,
on you know other Star Wars references really. So like you said, that's both good and bad because it's like it's good in the sense of like, you know, just in general they're not relying on cheap nostalgia things or anything.
yeah, they don't want to use the crutch, and that's appreciative.
So yeah, that's good. But it does make it to
Yeah,
where it's
because
like hard to
we've seen them
place.
use it.
It does make it to where it's like hard to place certain things.
Yeah.
Gizmo is doing good. The other two, I'm letting them finish their first run of training before I send them into another battle because they're just they did so horribly. Maybe raise Gizmo from this point on will determine the difference between victory and defeat. Okay. Not entirely sure what that
I get
means.
that special story beat.
Alright, I want to send them all into the place, so I am going to go ahead and have them all rest. So yeah, I'm gonna have them all rest right now.
But yeah, this sounds like if what's his name, or Judd or whatever,
Jod. Jod.
Jod.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds like at this point he's one of those villains that will come back in season 2 to maybe get a redemption arc, or maybe just to be a gag villain in season 2.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Cause yeah, is either A, they gonna arrest him and he's gonna be a recurring gag villain, or be cleaning up stuff on the sides of roads. or B, he's gonna die in a sad way.
Well, to be fair, he's had a lot of like Captain Jack Sparrow vibe when it comes to his survival ability. So
Yes,
there's a
that's what I'm
possibility
going
that
with
he'll
first one.
there's a possibility that he'll manage to like just barely escape. You know?
Okay, yeah, that is a possibility. That would make it so that, there would be higher stakes for season 2 if someone escaped the planet and the only ship that, they could do that in. And then comes back with a fleet of pirates.
Yeah.
Talking about we're gonna raid this place.
So we'll find out what happens tomorrow, I guess. Part of me wants to do
There
like a
you go.
special episode on Thursday or Wednesday. Special Geek View episode on Wednesday so we can discuss it. But yeah. It's like I said, it's the last couple episodes have turned me back around. Like it started out and it was good, it was pretty decent, but it was like in that area of like it's a little better than the Acolyte at the beginning. At this point,
Yeah.
I still will say I will actually say the Acolyte, in my opinion, at this point in the series, I think the Acolyte was a little bit better. You should not be able to dodge that much. So annoying. Like, seriously, I had over a 50% chance of hitting, and it dodged like 6 times.
Again, I told you those chances mean nothing.
They mean a
Oh, I
little
love
more
Monster
in
Rancher.
this one than they do in Monster Rancher DS. Monster Rancher DS, they don't mean anything. But it means a
DS,
little
it was
more
just
in this
mocking
one.
you if you thought those were things.
Like
But whenever I play Monster Rancher, I never judge those little things. I go, well, I'm gonna use a move. If I can use a move, I will use the move. If it hits, it hits. If it don't, it don't.
I mean, no matter what, the higher the percentage, the better chance that you have of getting it. Because if you have just like 30%, then you're never going to hit. Except for like that one lucky time.
Hey, I remember at one point I had a 90% something, and it missed. And
Yeah,
I was just
I'm
like,
not talking about
yeah.
I'm not talking about higher percent. I'm talking about lower percent being almost impossible to hit. I'm saying if you have a low percentage, it is almost impossible to hit. Like it might be stupid that like I'm missing this person even though I have a 70% chance of hitting. I still am hitting him more than I was hitting that other person when I only had a 50% chance. Versus a 30% chance of hitting and you basically almost never hitting them. And you have to just survive long enough for that one lucky chance. Which is why you always raise the golem's defense and life up a lot. So that they can survive until they can do that one hit that's just gonna knock out.
Yes. The one lucky hit.
So, anyways, what do you think?
Life and power.
I know you haven't been able to watch it because, crap. But, what do you think so far from the descriptions I've been giving you?
Like I said, The show sounds interesting. It sounds like I would like it.
And like I said, it's just that one episode that fell off for me.
Honestly, like I said, I understand. I'm like, it's a Star Wars thing. They have to spread out the budget, and one episode does have to probably suck. It's fine. Even in the Mandalorian, you sit there go, yeah, one episode sucks. Yep, rest are fine.
But yeah, I'm honestly going into this last episode not entirely like without like I don't even have much of a theory of what's going to happen other than I'm fairly certain that Captain Renaud's going to make his appearance as the supervisor. And there's going to be a fight, and then there's going to be like some sort of decision that gets made, you know, about, you know, what's gonna happen to the children who have been off the planet and now know too much. And the fact that there is an entire pirate fleet out there that knows where the planet is, even if they don't know how to get into it yet. Like, no matter what happens, there's a lot of consequences for what the kids did.
Yes. Yes, they really effed up everything. The only thing that I can actually say is the pirates can't get in, just period. Because the pirates, and this was made back in the days where stuff in Star Wars was made good. And
Yeah.
so whatever the pirates bring, unless it's an actual Death Star, it's not gonna be enough.
Well, I mean, like, the defense grid has, like, things set up in it, so, like, if you figure out that stuff and how to, like, jam it, it's possible. But I definitely think that's a season 2 possibility. Not a season 1 thing. I'm thinking, like, what might happen is Jod somehow survives and he gets out and comes across someone who is even worse than him, or possibly might be like an actual, like, you know, person that we know of, you know, someone that is like super dangerous that if you know, if a Star Wars person sees this person, they're just like, oh, that person can, oh, you know what it could be? You know, we've constantly talked about this. How did the First Order manage to get so much money that they were able to build an entire planet that had that entire planet Death Star?
Are you literally telling me there's a Sith Lord on this planet?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that Jod is going to, like, come off there and is going to have all this information and is going to come across Admiral, shoot, I forget his name right now. The blue guy. Thane.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And in order to not be killed, Thawne, that's the name I was looking for. In order to not be killed, Jod is going to, of course, help them, right?
That is something.
Like, that's the thing
that could be a thing.
Like,
that would be the most tragic end for that one.
Because, like, yeah, like, we still do not have any explanation as to how the First Order managed to get so big after the Empire took such a thrashing and was gone, you know? Like, like, getting control of a planet that literally makes money could be the answer.
Yeah, would solve their financial problem. They would go from owning nothing to, oh look, we have the bank.
Yeah. Like, seriously,
I'm gonna order a actual Death Star the size of a planet.
Man. That is just a crazy thought right there.
Yep. Yep. Like I said, that is a crazy thought, but it actually does line up with Star Wars and would make this whole thing even more tragic.
Yeah.
Literally have the story of the kids who effed up everything and doomed the galaxy into a whole other era of empire.
That'd just be so freaking crazy. God, we're coming up with all this stuff. Watch them not even be close to this, and it's just some simple thing.
Oh no. Like I said, my plan is it's gonna be something simple. It's gonna be probably just something simple and forgettable, so that way they don't have to focus back on this plot ever again. Because this does seem like one of those stories that could be finished in one season.
Yeah. But
it sounds like you could wrap up everything by
They would still have to figure out how to take care of all the pirates on that ship. Like, that's still a thing that would have to happen.
Well, the ship is stupid enough to still be close enough to the planet, right?
Yeah, but the planet has no attack system. I mean, like, the planet is inside the barrier. Like, the storm is, like, a fair amount away from the planet, so it doesn't hurt anyone on the planet. So, like, and also there's no attack thing, there's no attack fighters on the planet. Like, the planet is, for all intents and purposes...
Okay, so it's not like it's behind...
Yeah, the planet, for all intents and purposes, is defenseless. Like, the only defense...
Okay, so there's no actual laser grid or anything like that.
The only defense is the defense grid, which hits people who come into it without the passcode or without the proper ship, with powerful electric bolts, like, powerful enough to destroy a ship. So, like, that's their only defense. But it's not like a manned defense. Like, they have no fighters. And when Wims, was like, I want to be a fighter or something like that, someone that protects, that helps people and whatnot, he was laughed at because basically the only defenses they have are the droids, and the droids are all just police officers. So, like, and they just have stun guns, as far as I can tell. I don't think any of them has anything more powerful than a stun.
See, this makes no sense. This is one of those other things that makes no sense. Like, this is your bank. Shouldn't you have battle droids? What? Literally. This is one place that battle droids should roll up and just go, F you, get away from the money.
Well, that's what they have, the defense grid and all of the protections to make sure that the only people who know about this place's existence are the Republic ambassadors. The only reason why Jod knows about the existence of this place, or about where this place is, because like Atten and the other planets were all just legends, like those like pirate fairy tales, like the Dream Score, basically.
Yes.
You know? So like they their defense quite literally was just complete and total anonymity. And then on top of that, the defense is their actual defense grid. Which, like I said, their defense grid is powerful. It takes out jets, like fighters, in one go. Like, you can't get through the defense grid if you do not have a passcode or if you don't have the right ship. It is impossible. It's one of those things that the only reason why it's going to not be impossible at any point in time is because there's going to be someone who figures it out. Who figures out how to do the impossible, you know? You still there? Did you hear anything I said?
I'm still here.
Okay. I'm just making sure you heard stuff.
Last thing I heard was figure out how, and you just cut off.
Yeah, your internet really sucks. We really need to figure this out. What I was saying is that basically the only way is to have a story reason as to how someone can figure out why, and this season was all about finding the place. Therefore, if they do a second season, that would be the whole discovering how to get through it without the passcode.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
So basically, there is not.
I can see what you're saying.
The only other.
I also see it.
The only other way is if Jod figures out how to just take the defense system down entirely.
Yeah.
Which is a possibility. Because he wants to talk with his he wants to talk with his men, so you know.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, if they want to go with a sad ending, they can literally just have Jod win and take down the defense grid, and all the pirates come down to the planet and take it over.
Well, they're not gonna have a sad ending. This is a family show for kids for the most part.
If they go with the cliche happy ending, there will be some magic MacGuffin thing at the last episode that will solve their problems. And that would be your stereotypical kids show ending. As you go, I didn't know we could do that. Yeah, no, you're not supposed to.
Oh, cool.
Because this place is just a giant mystery.
I can ride Fido.
Nice.
Fido also has a long-range attack now.
That's good. Now there's a long-range option.
Yes.
So now you just...
He can actually hit from short. He can actually hit from short, mid, and long now.
Oh, he has to hit them finally. All is attached to intelligence based?
No. The short and the long are both physical. Short range and long are both physical. I just need rock candy to get a little bit better. Right now, all of his are up close and personal, and he just isn't all that great right now.
Well, that is one of the problems with the golems. you get a nice up close and personal attack. Maybe if you're lucky, you also get a medium range attack.
I mean, there's an attack on all three for him. Because right now,
yeah,
he only has up close ones.
Yeah, yeah. I've done golems before.
Yeah,
They get nice attacks.
I've done golems too.
Yep.
Right now, he just has the 3 attacks that are all up close. And it just kind of sucks. And since he is just not behaving, he's not behaving at all. Makes it to where it's hard to do anything with him. And on top of that, he doesn't have great accuracy. So it's just like on top of, you know, him not doing an attack that I asked him to do for like 5 attempts, he'll also miss 5 attempts that actually do happen. So it's just like, he's really just not a good one to fight with right now.
But yeah, the way that you've been describing Jod, he seems more like a Team Rocket-ish kind of villain. I mean, someone who will get defeated a lot.
He's more like Captain Jack, but a little bit more ruthless. Like, he's more like Captain Jack Sparrow, just a little more ruthless. Like, I wouldn't say that he's a comedic...
But you say that he is the main villain of this whole story?
I mean, in all honesty, it's starting to seem that way. Like, I know that Captain Renaud is probably going to make an appearance next episode. You know, but... Like, at the end of the...
Captain Renaud hasn't done anything this whole story.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm fairly certain that Jod is going to be the one that is the biggest issue. And the worst part about about Jod is the fact that he's also, I'm fairly certain, going to be the one that escapes. I have the feeling Renaud is going to be killed. And
okay.
Like, I think Renaud is going to be killed. I think somehow it's going to be up to the kids to decide about Jod, and they're going to let him go.
Here's my question. Did have the parents met Jod yet, technically?
I mean, you could say that. Like I said, at the very end of the episode, the kids reunited with their parents, and then Jod walks up with the lightsaber ignited. So if you want to say that that's officially meeting,
so they left it at a cliffhanger.
If you want to say that that's officially meeting, then yes. If you want to say that that's not officially meeting, then yeah, that they left it at a cliff. Next episode is the finale. Of course, they left this one at a cliffhanger.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other thing I could think to make this more entertaining is one of the kids' parents is actually the captain.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'll fit though. Like, it just doesn't really seem like it'll fit.
Fair enough.
Because that would mean that one of the children would need to be 9. Obviously, it can't be Neil. Because Captain Renaud was definitely, like, humanoid.
Yes.
So,
yes. We're going with Neil is not the one. It's either Wim's parent or... Honestly, I'm going with Wim's parent, or I'm going with what was the KB was the name?
Oh, KB's parents, definitely not.
Okay.
Like, KB's parents are analysts. And
okay.
Wem's dad, I don't know exactly what his deal is in the thing, but I definitely, like, you've seen him do some action trying to be covert, and he is, I do not believe at all that he could possibly be, I do not believe at all that he could possibly be the Captain Renaud.
Okay. So that's the only other thing that I think for the Captain Renaud twist
And
is
then Fern,
literally
and Fern's
one of the
parent is
kids' parents.
and Fern's parent is a mom, so like you haven't seen her dad. So.
Yeah, you already mentioned that one. I kind of wrote her off as soon as you told me that she was.
I mean, there's always that
part of the
possibility.
administration.
There's always that possibility that her dad is Captain Renaud, but again, like I'm just like, it's very difficult to tell when the ship would have crashed. You know? Like,
well, let's put it this way. According to what you said, it was overgrown with plants, so that probably took at
it
least
was like
5 or 10
it
years.
was buried in it was buried. You know?
So again, 5 or 10 years for it to be overgrown with plants. So they all about 10 years old, so it can match.
I have no idea. There's a whole lot of
That's
just
why I said
there's
it
just a whole
can't.
lot of like not certain on timelines for the things in the show that happened before the show, you know? Because, like, Captain Renaud had a secret pirate base. But since
Yes.
Captain Renaud has vanished, a spa resort has been built up and become a huge thing on said planet.
That could happen in 10 years. I could see that.
So, it's just one of those things where it's like, you can't entirely figure out exactly when things would have happened at this point. So next episode is gonna be something. We know that.
Watch, they don't even reference Captain Renaud.
That would be so stupid, but that would mean that there is definitely going to be a season 2. Because then
we would hope.
Well, considering this has managed to get a lot more favor than the Acolyte did, I'm pretty sure that they'll be fine with it. As far as I can tell, this one has even gotten more favor than Ahsoka did. Because Ahsoka, one of the only issues that some people had with Ahsoka is the people who didn't actually watch Rebels mainly Rebels. The people who didn't watch Rebels were confused about a lot of things that were happening in it. You know?
At that point, I just go, okay, yeah, this is for a person who actually watched this series.
Yeah,
it ain't for anybody else.
Ahsoka was all about, the entire thing with Ahsoka was the fact that it was supposed to be for the people who watched Rebels. It was a continuation of Rebels. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, if you're confused and you want to get upset at people because they're trying to make you watch these other shows, well, the reason for that is because it is continuing after that show. So you won't know anything unless you watch that show. It's that simple, you know? Like, seriously.
I've heard the thing. People went, I don't want to have a cartoon.
You might.
I could just watch the movies, right?
You need to say that again because that glitched out.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
You're still glitching.
Okay.
Okay, that's better.
All right. I was saying that it was people who were just going, they just wanted to watch the movies to get the understanding of everything. They didn't want to watch a cartoon.
Yeah, but
Or,
Ahsoka's not
multiple.
Ahsoka's not a movie.
Exactly.
So like, you know,
The mainstream people who were just watching the movies and not any of the cartoons or spin-off stuff didn't want to try to catch up with other content to watch this thing.
Then why were you watching Ahsoka? If you didn't like, there's no reason to watch Ahsoka if you're going to ignore like who Ahsoka is, because Ahsoka was not in the movies. So like, you can't just ignore her existence and then watch the show and expect to understand things. Because if you do that, oh lord, Rock Candy is going to be punished. Rock Candy did horribly.
Because I remember talking to someone else and hearing the argument of they didn't have to watch any spin-offs to enjoy Obi-Wan, and I went, that's fair. All you had to do was watch the movies, and you knew how Obi-Wan was gonna work, so you were caught up. They didn't have to watch any other spin-offs to watch The Mandalorian, and I went, you know what? You understood what The Mandalorian was after watching the main plots of the movies. So yeah, that's also acceptable.
Wow.
I think after that it kind of derailed because I had counterpoints for everything else.
Still don't fully understand why so many people didn't like The Acolyte. Like, I get that like, even you and I have actually said that out of all the ones that have
We've already did this.
That have come out, it's
just
at
like, the bottom until this.
Yeah, it's
until this last thing.
Yeah, like I said, like you and I have already said that it's definitely not anywhere, like it is the bottom of the list. But at the same time, neither of us thought it was bad. It just wasn't as good as everything else.
Exactly. So again, it's just sadly it's just the worst of the grouping.
Yeah,
that's the sad truth.
But the thing is, like,
if you of the grouping.
But yeah, the thing is, if you listen to like some of those other people who didn't like it, they basically just talk all sorts of crap about it. Like, you and I, basically, like I said, you and I say that it's definitely the bottom of the list of Star Wars shows. But we still enjoyed it. It just wasn't as good as anything else. But the way that they talk about it is it's just like the worst thing to happen to Star Wars since the holiday special.
I was gonna say, we did not include the holiday special. We purposely omitted the holiday special.
Gizmo just got his ass handed to him. A golem just did tornado and just freaking destroyed him.
Oh, tornado. Oh, that had to hurt. Oh, tornado. Tornado's one of my favorite moves for a golem.
He had like 137 health and got hit for 177 damage.
That's tornado for you.
Damn, man.
Good old tornado. One of my favorite moves for the golems.
Okay, well, I was hoping that Gizmo was ready, but now I'm gonna get him through some more training before I send him back into the mix with the other rank D's. Cause dang, he has 2 victories in tournaments, but man, that was just a one-shot kill there.
Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, so yeah, it's just one of those things where I just don't understand the vitriol hate, you know?
Like I said, I just accepted it and went, okay, guys. If I just compared it to everything, which we did, and I went, yes, it is the worst one of the bunch.
Yeah, but still,
excluding
like,
holiday specials and.
Still, yeah, the holiday special is not considered a Disney Plus. We were talking about Disney Plus series.
Okay. There is another thing that I don't think I've actually seen except for 2 episodes that I could put below it.
What's that?
It was, let's see, what was that called? It wasn't Rebels, but it was the thing after they did the Rebels cartoon, the other cartoon, where it was just an ocean planet and they did a bunch of races.
Oh yeah. Well, we were talking about like when we went over the list, we actually specifically were talking about live action though.
Yeah. So as long as we're sticking with live action, it's still worst of the list.
Yeah.
Besides the holiday special.
But again,
that's not done
we were saying Disney Plus live action. Like we were very specific with our stuff. So, but what I was saying is like, you know, these people were acting like the Acolyte was so horrible that it was just like, I mean, like they just like all of the crap that they were saying, and it's just like it's not that bad. Like, yeah, it's on our list as the worst, but it's not like so horrible that you need to go and make people feel like horrible about it. You know?
No.
Like it was still a decently done story.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I did watch the pitch meeting for the Acolyte. You remember the pitch meeting, dude? I watched his thing for the Acolyte.
You talked about it a bit. I don't think I've actually seen
it did bring up some points.
What's
it did bring up some good points, and I was just like, yeah, I could see why people didn't really enjoy that. Sure.
What's that?
Well, the fact that they had what's her name? The girl from the Matrix.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, they had her advertised. Disney was advertising her as an actual character in the show, but you know, dies in the first 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, and then she's only seen in the flashback things after that. I think I did. So, I did mention that as kind of something like a waste.
He called it. I think he called it the bait and switch. And I'm like, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's a fair thing.
That is definitely.
And then I'm like, okay.
That is fair.
And apparently, Yeah, but apparently he did not like the chanting, their chanting phrase for the witches, and I'm just like, okay, all chanting phrases sound stupid. Why are you harping on this? And what else was there that he was mocking this? Let's see. The fact that a whole bunch of things were how to put it how did he put it? Didn't really make sense, like why erase her memories at the end of everything. Like that she could just keep her mouth shut if she wanted to. What was the point of erasing her memories and possibly starting this whole cycle all over again?
Yeah, I get that. I thought that was stupid too.
Yeah, yeah. So I was sitting there going, well, that's another person's, viewpoint, and he actually made a whole pitch me.
See, that's the type
I can
of
see
stuff.
What he's saying.
That's the type of stuff I can respect, where you actually watched it, you gave it a chance, and you are just. It's the same thing that you and I do with like the prequels, you know?
Yes.
Where we like discuss the fact that we enjoyed the ride,
yes.
But at the same time, when you analyze it, these things don't make sense. And then when it comes to the sequel trilogy, it's sort of a similar thing, especially when you get to the third movie.
Oh.
Alright, I'm gonna go adventuring again because I think, yeah, everyone's in good shape. So yeah, it's just like the thing that I tend to enjoy is mainly just I enjoy the ride. And later on, like if I enjoy the ride, then I enjoyed the ride and nothing can take that away from me. Later on, I might overanalyze things and find a lot of things that don't make sense. You know, like for instance with Harry Potter, I enjoyed the ride. Afterwards, there are so many problems with that story. And I'm not just talking about the movies, I'm talking about the books. Like, there are so many problems. But the point is, you enjoy the ride.
Exactly. I can tell you right now, there's a few animes that I, if I sat back and analyzed and just go, you know what? A whole bunch of things about the Naruto show don't really make too much sense.
Oh, for sure.
A whole bunch of things contradict themselves. A whole bunch of things, you just sit there and go, for the love of God, you're telling me this one person literally just had to be wrote out the story because he could have solved all the problems?
Yeah, for
if this one character was alive,
like
there
seriously,
would have not been anything, and it would have been big problems.
Or just like things like if Saratobi had actually, been honest for like 2 seconds with a couple of people, or just the fact that Saratobi was supposed to watch out for Naruto and let Naruto live without parents, without anyone to give him caring like that, in a rundown apartment where he was barely scraping by when he was the child of the former Hokage.
And that is another question. Like, he was the child of the former Hokage, right?
Yeah.
That means that the Hokage, one of the leaders of the village, and also one of the best ninjas of the village, was he broke?
Yeah, that's like, the thing. It's like
Naruto have inherited all that money.
Even James and Lily, even James and Lily Potter, who died when they were super young and were not internationally famous and the leader of the entire wizarding world, even they were able to leave a bunch of money for Harry.
Yes.
You know?
Where did the whole Hokage money go?
Yeah.
Did the third Hokage just go, I'm taking this for the village?
And then just like
just now massive donation.
And like, you know, no matter how much I absolutely love Pervy Sensei, he was supposed to be Naruto's godfather. He was supposed to be Naruto's godfather. Naruto did not know who he was. And it was just a happenstance that they ran into each other when Naruto was training.
Yep.
Like, seriously.
Honestly, I'm sitting there going, what about other thoughts about Naruto is literally, okay, at the point where the ramen guy was your only real kind of friend besides Iruka.
Yeah.
Why didn't either the ramen guy or Iruka just straight up adopt?
Yeah, like, seriously.
I mean,
there's just
I understand Iruka was maybe a little too young. In his 20s.
Like, that's the thing. When you start to analyze any of these stories, they fall apart so fast. No matter how much you enjoy the story, once you start analyzing things, they start falling apart. That's why you just enjoy the ride. Naruto was a wonderful series. It was fun. It was action-packed. The story essentially was good.
Yes.
Just don't overanalyze it and you're fine.
Yes.
And that's basically the same thing with all of these things that people complain about with like Star Wars and Marvel. You know? Like, seriously, just stop being
papers on Star Wars.
Not everyone is a critic. Just enjoy it. Have fun. Remember how you felt when you were a kid and just have some fun. Watch the really cool lightsaber fights in the Acolyte. Because, for God's sakes, they did a great job with the lightsaber fights. Like, even people...
Just like you watched the chakra mix in Naruto.
Like, even...
They just went elf being a ninja at the end of the series. It just went giant chakra. Go.
Like, even people who didn't like most of the show still, you know, admitted that the lightsaber fights were cool. Like, they basically would be like...
Hey, at least at that point, the show, everybody could say.
Yeah, it's just like this point of just like... The people who were still wanting to hate on it were just like... It's like, okay, yeah, they had some really good lightsaber fights. Don't let that, you know, make you forget that it's a horrible show. And it's just like, but the thing is, if you enjoyed the lightsaber fights, then that means you enjoyed something. You know?
Yes. They felt like they would have been tainted for enjoying any part of it.
Yeah, stop being so critical about it and just enjoy some shit. You know? There's no reason to just constantly hate on things.
Hey, there's certain things that I just look at people and go, hey, you don't analyze the Fast and the Furious franchise, right? Yeah, you turned your brain off and enjoyed that? Yeah, just do that. Your life will be a lot happier. Because I would never try to analyze any of the Fast and the Furious movies. Because if I did, I would just... I just collapse from the, oh God, the plot holes. Oh God! Oh God! What is this?
Like, they jumped out of plane. Like, this is not even like the last one, but they jumped out
went
of
to space.
planes. They jumped out of planes with parachutes. I remember
Yes.
when, like, there was some show that is actually making fun of stuff, and basically did the whole thing of, like, trying to take it to a place where it wouldn't possibly go. But yeah, they were making fun of Fast and the Furious, and they did a whole thing of, like, Fast and the Furious. It was like back when Fast and Furious was at like 5 or 6 or something. It was after the parachutes, and they were like doing the
Okay,
whole
so maybe
thing of
that was
just
either
like,
Top Gear or
no, this was like one of the adult cartoons, like Family Guy or something. It was like Family
Oh,
Guy or
okay.
something, where they were basically doing that thing where it's like, this couldn't possibly be a thing that actually happens. We understand that this is not actually going to be how it is. But I mean, for God's sakes, they've done 6 of them. So, and the last one, they jumped out of planes with parachutes. So Fast and the Furious 10, they're in space. And then
They
it
got to space
happened.
before 10.
And it's just like,
They got to space before 10.
they went more ridiculous than someone being like, yeah, we understand they're not this ridiculous, but we're still gonna do the joke because it's funny. And then they freaking did it. But like you said,
we ain't gonna wait till 10.
but like you said, is anyone over analyzing it? No, they see it for what it is. It's just a fun ride. Have fun. Anyways,
Yes.
that's the moral of today's
By this
Geek
point,
View.
everybody that would be analyzing or criticizing it.
That is the moral of today's Geek View. Just have fun. Stop overanalyzing things. But yeah, it's 9 o'clock, so we'll probably go ahead and call it here, so that we have time to do nightly things that we need to do during the week, because I have to go to work tomorrow and whatnot, and I still have a house that I have to keep up with and make sure that my kid is doing what he's supposed to do. So you can find me on social media. Just search for Seriostar and whatnot. Go to my website, seriostar.com, and find some stuff. I have things that I'm working on, but right now I would just appreciate people going and buying my books. Just flat out, you know, that would just help me a lot. A whole lot. More than you could even know right now, honestly. So, but yeah, aside from that, you know, I upload all my streams to my YouTube channel. I have started playing Metal Gear Solid 3 last Saturday, and I will continue that this Saturday. I am currently in a playthrough of Suikoden 3 on Sundays, so you can join me there for that. And I'll probably be playing Monster Rancher 4 the next time we do this as well. Which next episode for this, we will be doing the finale of Skeleton Crew. And then we'll have to figure out something else to talk about. But yeah, I hope everyone has a good night, and I hope everyone has a good week. So until next time, see you later.
See ya.